We are on day number 6 of the Follow Me on the BNB Binance coin, where we're looking at technicals. And today is ready for a short-term shorting opportunity where likely we're going to see it drop below $270. Is it guaranteed? No, because we can only do probabilities but never certainties, but it is highly probable. So if you like today's content, like, subscribe, hit the bell notification. If you don't know me by now, my name is Jiggy. I'm the award-winning author of The Extraordinary New Venture Capital Opportunity, How to Invest Like a Pro. Been featured in the best-selling book, High Probability Trading Strategies, back in 2008, where I only used to focus on currencies, but now exclusive on cryptocurrency. So let's dive straight in. So BNB, we're on day number 6. This is the macro viewpoint. We've been talking about this. And literally this was day 5 yesterday on YouTube. And we said, look, we're waiting for this end of a correction, end of a major degree correction. But rather than just waiting, we're just doing a day-by-day follow me. And we're looking like we're going to get this one more move to the downside. It's highly probable before we get a potential continuation of the former trend and breaking all-time new highs. Not guaranteed, but it's likely to occur because we're using Elliott Wave and Fibonacci to really read the market. So now we're on a live chart with BNB. And now this part of the market is the short-term correction, A, B, C. Now, as the market is moving down, we're likely to get one more leg to the downside where we'll exceed this low. So for you short-term traders, if you're being in the market for 1 to 5 days, maybe 7 days, this potentially is a good shorting opportunity. Why? Well, the momentum on the daily is looking like it's going to go bearish. So we should anticipate sideways to down for maybe 3 to 5 days, give or take. But what I'm going to do today, I'm going to drop down to an hourly chart. Now, I don't normally trade on an hourly chart. I normally keep it on weekly and daily. But one other thing. So if you look in the top left-hand corner, this is my weekly chart on the top left-hand corner over here. You can see that the weekly is bullish, but the daily, if I just zoom in, is bearish, right? In terms of the daily pointing down. When you're going long, ideally you want both of them to be pointing in the same direction, but they're not both pointing in the same direction. Hence, we're being patient for long opportunities, as in buying opportunities. But we are going to jump into a lower time frame, which is the hourly chart in the bottom right-hand corner. And here we can look at another momentum indicator to look for short-term opportunities where both, if I can draw it like this, both the daily and the hourly are pointing in the same direction, right? So then now this becomes the higher time frame and this becomes the lower time frame, whereas usually the weekly we consider as the higher time frame. So with Fibonacci and Elliott Wave, it applies to all markets and all time frames, and it's pretty clear around 50 to 70% of the time. So what I've done now is I've just zoomed in. So we've got this movement happening as an hourly chart. Just zoomed in to the more recent price data. What I want to ask you is, what do you see over here? What do you see? I'm going to give you a second. Do you see any particular pattern? And just so we're clear, the chart part that we're looking at on the chart, on the daily, is this part here. Right, we're looking at this part over here. If I can get this part over here. But it's hard to see the pattern breakdown on a micro detail on the daily, so we can drop down to a lower time frame. So in this pink box, do you see any particular pattern on the upside? Well, what I see is a sub-micro, what looks like to be a pretty clean 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, to potentially finish off the entire correction. Let's go to sub-micro. Right, could potentially finish off the major correction. The other thing we want to be aware of is, now we're getting to quite a lot of detail here, but because we're following it day by day, it's good to know that what we're talking about applies on a weekly chart, applies on a daily chart, and it applies on an hourly chart, it even applies on a 15-minute chart. So you see these cycles and trends repeat themselves again and again because the market is constantly expanding and contracting. So what would be the first indication? If I just get rid of this like so, let me just, so it's a bit cleaner. What would be the first indication that we're likely to have hit this top of a wave 4, what we're looking at on a higher time frame? Well, it's if and when the price goes below this low. And you can see over here, the price went below this low. So that's the first signal. So now that's a short trade setup if you're going short on this market. And WD Gann said it best. He said, look, one of the safest times to buy is when the market goes in your direction and it has the first reaction. And you can see that this is a very corrective overlapping structure. So a simple trade setup would be go short. If you're going short, that is, this is like a 3 to 5 day trade setup. Go short if the market goes below here, and your capital exposure, your stop loss, will be above this swing high. Or if you're going to be a bit more conservative, give it a bit more breathing space, no higher than this swing high. So you know what your risk is to go short. So what else can we cover today? So this is one of the challenges of just being patient. So if you know how to do futures, this could be a potential short setup. Let's just see what the price movement potential is. So it looks like we may have hit the top of this wave 4. Let's just quickly clean it up and let's just do this. A nice, easy, simple external retracement. We're going to take this low. We're going to measure it from this high. And the ratios we want is 1.272 to 1.618. And it's likely we're going to see BNB, Binance coin, go to at least $253 to $230 thereabouts into this range. So you can see if that meets your minimum criteria to go from today, it's approximately, just call it 330. So it's a significant move, right? If you got a tight stop loss, that can be a significant move to the downside. And then let's just finish today's video on just a reminder of what we're looking for on a macro degree picture. We're looking for, while we're watching this day by day, is an end of a major correction, A, B, C. This is the final 5-wave sequence, and then for a major continuation to all-time new highs. But as we're waiting, if you like today's setup, there is a shorting opportunity. So let's just summarize. We got momentum on the daily, is looking ready. Tomorrow will go bearish, more than likely, in terms of the blue line will go below the red. And on the hourly chart, I don't like to trade on the hourly chart because you have to be in front of the computer during the day. I like to just look at it once a day. Hence I do weekly and daily, so there's more swing trading. But and you can also do this on the daily as well. But here, going low below here, gives you a tighter entry. Stop loss maximum, no higher than this high here. So if the market triggers you in and then goes up and stops you out, you know your capital exposure should be no more than 3% of your portfolio. Or if you want a tighter stop loss, a bit more risk, but again, the market, if it tags us in here, that will confirm this swing high, so that the market shouldn't go, if the market is going to move to the downside, shouldn't go above here. And by the way, if you're brand new to Elliott Wave and Fibonacci and you've never seen Elliott Wave counts and how to combine Fibonacci ratios, it's a really powerful tool, probably one of the most powerful. I've actually created a Fibonacci and Elliott Wave Masterclass. Is in the link below. Highly encourage that you take it. You'll absolutely love it because it covers the 3 key rules and how to combine Fibonacci ratios with wave structures. And around 50% of the time, you'll see very, very clear wave structures. So today was day 6 of follow me on following BNB Binance coin, because you'll see the intricacies that you can really be patient and wait for very high probability setups. We don't need to be rushing into the market. We don't need to be trading junkies where we need to be in the market all the time. We'll just be patient. We'll wait for the correct hand. And when the probabilities are stacked in our favor, then we play our hand with our acceptable capital exposure. Let's now finish on a quote. I'm going to have chapter 1 today. Is Mr. MJ, Michael Jordan. Yes, Chicago Bulls. All right. I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed. I've failed over and over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeed. One of my favorite things to do is practice, but not just any practice, is purposeful practice. There's a great book called Bounce, and he talks about the 10,000 hour rule. And if you want to be just on the next level in your craft, whatever it is in life, you got to put in the time. And it's not just about any practice, it's about purposeful practice. How can you get better 1 to 3% at a time? 1 to 3% at a time. What's the next level? So someone that's driving a car for years and years and years versus someone that's precisely practicing a particular gear shift, a particular clutch control, a particular approaching a corner, braking late to turn hard into a corner. It's going to be more purposeful practice. So how can you apply that to your crypto trading portfolio? Well, you can purposefully look for 5-wave counts, 3-wave corrections, purposefully apply some Fibonacci ratios and see how it unfolds. You can backtrack data and just see if you can see the patterns and see how it unfolds. And you'll see that it doesn't unfold perfectly every time, but more often than not it does. And 3 to 5 times out of 10, we want to be on the really be able to peg these big trends and then ride those trends, but then be able to manage our position as well at the same time. So we are following BNB, Binance Coin every day. It's quite cool that we're seeing it unfold textbook, this wave 4, and it looks like we've confirmed that wave 4 high. The first signal, it's not confirmed because it needs to go below what's called a wave B low, and we're going to be patient for that. But on a short term, 3 to 5 days, there's a short-in opportunity. Doesn't mean you should take it. Well, it depends if it fits your trade plan and your risk tolerance, and because you should have a trading plan. Another great thing that one of my mentors taught me, he said, Jigir, a trade plan will not guarantee success. However, the lack of one will guarantee failure. So you want to just have a set of rules, what you trade. Like some people just do the weekly and the daily charts. Some people have to have the momentum on the weekly and the daily pointing in the same direction. Some people never drop down, or some people only do the daily and the hourly. And there's different things that you can put in, but it's more that you have the rule set so you can be consistent in your approach. So if you like today's video, like, subscribe, hit the bell notification. Follow me tomorrow for day 7 of BNB. Follow me, Binance Coin. Let's see if it goes towards the downside and starts breaking some of those swing lows. And if we go below $270 for potentially an end of a major correction, then we'll maybe see a trend reversal to go on to see all-time new highs in 2022. All right, I'll see you soon.